Hello, my name is Tom Palmer and I am a children's author. Normally I write football and rugby books. I am from Leeds and now I have written a story called Loidis Ledes Leeds, which is a 5-part story which is going to be released one chapter a week, and I'm going to be reading it, or if you don't want to listen to me reading it, which I would understand, you can read it on the internet as well. And you're already on the right webpage because you're watching this already. Anyway, so I'm going to read this chapter, which is going to take about 10 to 12 minutes of this story. And this story is special. It's been commissioned by Leeds Schools Library Service, so the people who get you all the fantastic books that come into your school, or many of them. And it's especially for Leeds School because it's a story set in Leeds, and it's set in Leeds now, but it's also set in Leeds in various stages in the past. And if you look at the poster, you can see that it's set in the time of the Iron Age, Romans, Anglo-Saxons and Vikings as well as now. Anyway, I'll stop waffling and I shall read it to you, and then at the end of this chapter I shall explain to you what's going to happen next. Chapter 1. Does everyone have their seatbelt fitted? Miss Terry said loudly from the front of the bus. Yes, miss, 31 Year 6 voices cheered back. Good. Well, settle down and enjoy the journey. We'll be there before you know it. Today we are going to a very exciting place. The bus moved slowly along the school drive and onto the main road, juddering and grumbling as the driver shifted it through the gears. Some children stared through the giant windows, while others fiddled with the lights and air conditioning devices above their heads. Excuse me. Jack sat halfway down the bus with Mo and Nisha. Mo and Nisha were his friends and also his next-door neighbours. Jack was excited. But not because of where they were going. Jack was excited just because they were going anywhere away from school. A school trip meant a journey like this on a posh coach. A school trip meant not having to look at books all day long, not being shouted at and not being sent to the head teacher. A school trip, best of all, was a chance to mess about with his friends. And it was a good thing that Jack, Mo and Nisha were friends, because this was no ordinary school trip. This journey to Leeds City Museum was the beginning of something much more extraordinary. A nightmare? You could call it that. It was definitely something you needed friends alongside you if you were going to make it to the other side. They'd been at the Leeds City Museum for over an hour when Nisha reached the Egyptian mummy in its glass case. She took one look and turned away. It was horrible. Immediately, Nisha felt disappointed in herself. Disappointed because she loved the idea of being able to stand next to things that were thousands of years old. Real things from ancient history. How cool was that? She'd read enough books about them to know how amazing these artefacts were. But there was something about this mummy, something dry and brown and rotten, that made her feel sick at the same time as feeling fascinated. Shall we go and stand outside? Mo suggested, noticing Nisha's reaction. Get some fresh air. Yeah, Nisha agreed. Mo led the way. Nisha, then Jack followed. Jack was ready to go too. They'd done the ancient history section and the history of Leeds section of the museum. Both had been okay, but he'd had enough now. Mo took his friends down a corridor and through some glass doors, then another corridor which was different to the others. It had bare walls, no colourful displays. Even so, Mo felt confident that this was the way out, until he saw that the way was blocked by a woman wearing an old-fashioned dress. Long, dark hair tucked beneath her wide-brimmed hat. She was also wearing a purple ribbon across her coat. The corridor felt suddenly very cold. Mo shivered. Hello, the woman said, addressing all three of them. Hi, Mo said. Are you enjoying the museum, children? The woman said. Good, thanks, Nisha said. Well, it's not that good, Jack contradicted. He felt tired and grumpy now. He just wanted to be on the bus home. Did you enjoy the gallery about Leeds and its history? The woman asked. It was okay, Mo replied. We didn't really stop for that long. That's a shame, the woman said. Don't you want to know about the history of your city? Not really, Jack answered. The woman said nothing. She just looked at the three children, one after the other. None of them quite understood who she was until Nisha had a thought. Something she remembered from a London museum her dad had taken her to in the summer holidays. Are you one of those actors? Nisha asked, who walks around museums and pretends to be someone from the past so that visitors can ask questions. You could say that, the woman smiled, but I'm not sure there's much reason to, not if you don't care about the history of your city. But I do, Nisha said. Me too, Mo echoed. Jack said nothing. The woman smiled again. Nisha thought she had a lovely smile. One of the kindest smiles she's ever seen on someone. So can we ask you questions? Nisha pressed. You could, the woman said, but I think instead I'm going to ask you questions. What if I set you a challenge, the three of you? Yeah, Jack said, suddenly enthusiastic. Is there a prize? Yes, the woman said, there is. Go on then, Jack said. What if I said to you, the woman began, that if you accept my challenge and prove to me that children are interested in their city's history, then something amazing will happen in Leeds. That something unbelievable will be discovered to prove part of the city's history that no one has ever imagined before, something that had been lost for nearly 2,000 years, and that it would all be down to you three. Jack looked quickly from Nisha to Mo, then back to Nisha. Come on, Jack whispered. What? Nisha asked. Let's do it, Mo added. Nisha could hear that Mo and Jack were up for it. The looks on their faces gave it away too. They looked like two dogs desperate to go out for a walk. Nisha sighed. She felt nervous about what they were getting themselves into. This woman did not really seem like one of those museum actors who pretend to be someone from the past. There was something about her, something strange. Nisha shivered. Right then, the lady said, are you ready? Yeah, Nisha said for all three of them. We are. If you accept, the woman said, for the next 4 nights a ghost will visit each of you to set you a challenge. A ghost? Nisha asked. The lady nodded and then she went on. A challenge to find out something about the history of Leeds. If you accept and solve the first clue, then you will be set another until you finish all 4. And if you succeed in that, you will ensure that an amazing discovery will be revealed about Leeds. If you fail, then that secret will remain hidden forever. Jack was shaking his head. Ghosts, he stuttered. Yes, said the woman. But there's no such thing as a ghost, Jack insisted. Really? Really, Jack said, his face rigid. I know there are no such thing as ghosts. I know it for sure. And how do you know that? The lady asked. Because, Jack said, because when I was 5 and my dad died, and if there were ghosts... Year 6, Miss Terry broke the spell in the tension with a harsh shout. All year 6 to the main staircase on the ground floor, please. Mo, Nisha, Jack, where are you? We have to go, Nisha said to the woman. The woman put her hands together. Goodbye, children, she said. But before you go, I need to know if you do accept my challenge. Mo, Nisha and Jack looked at each other. They didn't need to say anything. They all knew what the other wanted to do, even Jack. Yes, Nisha turned to the woman and grinned. We accept the challenge. As they walked away from the lady, Mo couldn't help but wonder what Jack had been about to say about his dad and about ghosts. But it was too late now. He could see that Miss Terry was cross. You could tell that by the shape of her mouth and the look in her eyes, and by the fact she was apologising to the museum guide, whose name was Hardit. Where have you three been? Miss Terry asked. The 2 adults were standing in the entrance hall. At the top of the wide staircase were the rest of Year 6 clustered in the entrance. Light poured through the museum windows. Ahead of them, the main hall of the museum was bright with colour and vibrant images. Excuse me. Sorry, miss, Nisha said. We were talking to the actress lady about Leeds. Actress lady? Hardit sounded confused. The lady in the corridor near the Mummy and the Leeds exhibition, Mo said. She was quite nice, Jack asked. Hardit shook his head. We don't have any actors. I'm the only guide working today. Yes, you do, Nisha said. She's wearing a long old-fashioned dress and a hat. No one's doing that today, Hardit said firmly. Miss Terry crouched slightly to be level with the three children. Eye to eye, Mo, Jack and Nisha looked at her. Can you show Hardit where this lady is? Their teacher asked now in a soft voice. As the coach drew away from Leeds City Museum, past the first direct arena, the three children were as quiet as their classmates chattered excitedly about the trip they had just been on. With the help of Miss Terry and Hardit, they had not been able to relocate the lady in the museum. It was like she had just disappeared. 10 minutes into the journey, Mo was the first of the trio to speak. He'd been going over and over what had happened in his head. The woman, what she had said, the challenge, and the thing about ghosts. Was it a joke? Probably. But there was a chance it was real. So, what do we do now? Mo asked. About what? Jack snapped. Mo noted Jack looked grumpy again. Nothing, Nisha said. We do nothing. Nothing, Mo disagreed. But what if the thing the lady said were going to happen really do happen? What? Jack laughed. Ghosts coming to us in the night? I don't think so. There's no such thing as ghosts. She was a nutter. She didn't hang around once Missing the Museum guy came, did she? I don't know, Mo said. What do you mean? Nisha asked. I mean, Mo said, are you two completely sure that one of us isn't going to wake up in the night with a ghost stood at the end of our bed? So that is the end of chapter 1. The children are on their way home, and what's going to happen to them in the night, we don't know. Is a ghost going to come to them, or was it just a load of nonsense that lady made up? Well, I suspect you can guess. But anyway, the next chapter will be published on Friday the 4th of March. So you can either watch it again, I'll read it again, or you can read it off the website as well. And in the next 4 chapters, there are going to be clues. Sorry, I thought I went a bit funny then. There are going to be clues set, and as well as the children trying to solve them, you can try and solve them as well. So it'll be clues about the history of Leeds. And while I was writing the story, I've been going around Leeds finding things out. I mean, I was brought up in Leeds and I lived there for a very long time, and I found things out about Leeds that I didn't know in researching this story, and hopefully you'll find it interesting as well, because as you can probably tell, I'm very proud of coming from Leeds, and I hope you are too. Anyway, I look forward to reading the next chapter to you next week. Thank you very much for listening, and have a lovely weekend, all of you. I've tried to turn this off without pushing it.